Hola, children. Are you ready for some cutting up and kikiing? Are you ready for a gay old time? Well, I hope you are. Because now it's time for Hey Qween with your host, Jonny McGovern.
Hey Qween, come on and spill the tea. Hey Qween, it's just a good old-fashioned kiki. Hey Qween, we're cutting up with Jonny. Hey, 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 hey. Hey Qween.
Hello, my vast, voluminous viewers, and welcome to another virtuous and valiant episode of Wah Wah with me, your host. Today's show is going to give you vida. On our show today, we have a RuPaul's Drag Race all-star. She's stunning and cunning. She's all of our French vanilla fantasies. Come on, let's say it together. Hello, it's her, Valentina. Yay! But before she brings all of her splendidness to the floor, there's another fantasy that you must imagine. She's mi amor, like a single blood red rose. She's soft, coiffed, long-stemmed, and gemmed. It's Señorita Red Couture! Hola, Qween.
Hola, Qween.
Mama Roja Valentina es aquí.
Valentina?
No. Valentina, sí. No. Sí.
No!
Ella está aquí para derramar el té.
No! No! No!
El té. Oh, Lady Red, you're a very good telenovela actress.
Well, you know, my Spanish is limited, but they know what I mean.
Right, exactly. As you could have guessed, today is the day we've been waiting so long for. The one, the only, it's her, Valentina. She's in the house today! And we're gonna be with her right after this very gay break. Ooh, I can't wait, honey. We are back, honey. I have been waiting years to get this diva on the Sparkle Couch. She has had so many iconic moments in her short career that she is well on her way to the title of full superstar. Here today, the gorgeous, the incredible, the one and only Valentina!
Oh my, all that for me.
Yeah, it's you.
Hello, it's me, Valentina.
Yay! Lady Red, can you believe this day has finally come to pass?
No.
Okay, hold up. Before
Hold
we
up?
continue, I brought you guys some gifts.
You did?
Yes, I sure did.
Oh my goodness. We have a gurg is the word. Bring
Darling.
it out.
So what I have here for you is a box of chocolate-covered strawberries, some red roses. There's no red M&Ms, but there is a bottle of champagne and some signed 8x10s.
Oh
just
my
for you.
goodness. Look at this. Thank you. Everybody, can I get a round of applause for this? This wasn't even in my rider, Valentina.
And I couldn't even forget Miss Lady Red Couture.
Oh.
I brought a gift for her as well, Josh.
Look at that Lady Red right behind you. Oh my God.
Can I share when I met Lady Red for the first time in person?
Yes.
It was at Precinct in downtown, and this bitch was selling sweet potato pot pies.
Yes.
Me and Shea Coulee bought one. Shea Coulee was performing that night, and our fat asses devoured it.
Legendary.
You know it's good when it tastes like type 2 diabetes. Bitch, I said, oh, whoa now.
Valentina, you look incredible. Not that you haven't always looked incredible, but this is like, up close, I'm speechless, really.
Thank you, mi amor.
The hair, the beat, we were talking about your beat is just been perfectly refined.
This whole thing.
Yes.
Well, all I did was I woke up and I showered. And I came here and I said, you know what? This is just natural me.
It is.
Girl, just kidding. There's a whole team that goes behind this whole boop boop ba-doo.
Right.
And the thing is, I've always had a community of friends, talented people that, you know, whether they do hair, whether they do costumes, whether they do lashes or makeup, whatever it is, I've always had a community of creative people, because I come from a creative background, that is there to support me, to help me. But at the same time, it's all done with love. And at the time when I had first met Vicky Vox, who she came up on here with Detox, which I love Detox. And she came up on here and said something like, when she first met me, she gave me like this lecture, like, baby, you know, you have all these people backstage trying to help you and all that, and you're not gonna have that always. And you know, I really took it in, because at the time I was like new to the community, new to drag, and I was like, you know, yeah, I'm gonna have to be more independent and all, but girl, like, to be honest, like, I'm here today and I still got a strong team getting me ready.
That's right, they're all right there. Give yourselves a round of applause.
I would like to give a big thank you to my team. Not only the ones that work with me today, but I've had so many talented people come in and help me, whether they do makeup, whether they do costumes, whether they do hair, whether they bedazzle some tights, whatever they do. I have a whole community of friends and team that have helped me through this process of blossoming and transforming and transitioning into Valentina in different phases. And I just would like to thank them, because without them, I would not feel as confident as I do to be able to focus and do my work. And it's just so glamorous when you show up and you got a makeup artist, a hairstylist, a stylist, an assistant, bitch. Girl, it lets you focus on what you gotta do.
That's right, and that's how you get to feel your fantasy.
Girl, the French vanilla.
Yes. You seem like you're in a really good place.
You know, Johnny, I'm really, really happy right now. I am the happiest I've been in a very, very long time. And this time, Johnny's been inviting me for a very long time to be on this show.
I've been sending you little notes.
Yes.
We got to work together at your All About Valentina one-woman show. Just wanted to show you that, you know, there's nothing to be afraid of. Come along. But now it seems like it's the perfect time, because you seem like you've come through the storm and you come out the other side feeling good. Tell me about that.
Well, yeah, I think many times you've invited me, and not only have I been really busy, but I just was going through a lot. I was not in a clear state of mind. I wasn't aware of where I was going or what I was doing. I was learning who I am as an entertainer, as a drag queen, as a what I would say in Spanish, a todóloga, somebody that just takes care of everything, you know? I do have a manager, I do have an assistant, I do have this and that, but there's still kind of like this, like, I was so new to all of it, you know? And people didn't want to believe that I was so new, but I was like taking on so much, and I just grew so quick that I wasn't, you know, I would show up for my work, and when the cameras would go on or when I would hit the stage, I would be fine and everything was fine. But when I would come off, I found myself a little lost. So to come and sit down and to be authentic and to be genuine and to be right, like in a level-headed mindset, it was quite challenging for me back then. But now, like, I kind of got in a grip of this lifestyle.
Yeah.
As an artist, like, I know who I am, I know the brand that I've created, and I've come a long way, and I've been through a lot, and I've struggled a lot, but I've also been able to, even though I struggled, been aware that I have all the success, and now that I'm happy, I can reflect on all of it and be grateful, and know that it's taken a lot for me to be able to sit here with you today, but I'm so grateful because I haven't really spoken about everything.
I know, and we're gonna get into it all.
I have a feeling tonight's gonna be like a therapy session, like, well,
That's
Valentina,
right. Tell Dr. Johnny
how are you
all
feeling
about
today?
it.
Well, it's a little cloudy. No, really, I'm so grateful to be here with you, especially having this experience. Johnny came with me to my one-woman show, All About Valentina.
Which was incredible.
Yes.
Really, you pulled it together, honey.
It was like a less than 2 weeks right after Wrenn. We threw that show together real quick.
Now, you just come off Wrenn.
Yes.
Now, that must have been so exciting to book that gig.
Yes.
Such an iconic part. How were you feeling when that happened?
I couldn't believe it. Like, I honestly could not believe it because Wrenn meant so much to me because I had learned the music in high school. And, you know, I was obviously obsessed because my gay ass was obsessed with Mimi and Out Tonight. But then I got this, you know, this invitation to audition for Angel and for Rent live, right? And I was like, dear Lord, like, this is really major, you know? And even to audition for it was gonna be a learning experience for me because auditioning for big major things in Hollywood, it's not really, I'm not very experienced in that. So even the audition process was so interesting because I just went in there and I gave them the gig. I said, hey, my name is Valentina, what do y'all need? I'm not used to this, let me know. I'll give y'all the gig, y'all want me to do it again, I'll do it again, give me feedback and I'll do it again. So they were just living because I was just being the most and too much and nice to meet you, hi, very Selena type of tease. I came in and gave everybody kisses and hugs, none of that handshake, none of that professional shit. I was just like, what's good, girl? Cause I'm lost. Cause y'all want me to do good, let me know what y'all need and I'll do it. So I did the number. They had me sing an audition. I said, y'all, send whoever y'all had else audition, send them home. I think I just felt that. Did y'all feel it? If y'all didn't feel it, I felt it. So I went through this process. It was a long process of auditioning. And I made it, and I got it. And it was a lot for me to take on. I'd never done a lot of the things that I had to prepare for in that show. We had to wear in-ears. We had 8-minute quick change from boy angel into full drag Santa Claus angel, right?
That is a different moment for you,
and you
sweetie,
know
yes.
it don't take me 8 minutes to get ready, girl, you know?
And with the last minute, you were supposed to do it live, but someone broke their leg in the cast?
Yeah. I mean, oh my God, I've never talked about this. Well, you know, it was very hard on us. The day that we were supposed to perform the Rent live, right? Rent live, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, was not live. Okay? And what happened was the day before we had done a full dress rehearsal. On like the very last number, Brennan, one of our main actors, well, the main actor who played Roger,
right,
leaving the stage, like, injured his ankle. We didn't have no understudies, none of that. So I wasn't even aware that even happened. We come in the next morning, went to my vocal lesson, had done a full mask, was ready to slay, done my vocal warm-up, drinking my Manuka honey, my throat coat tea, just real focused, in the zone, been preparing for this for months. I think it was 2 months of preparation that we had been in rehearsals for this, you know? And they then let us know, unfortunately today we're not gonna be able to do this show live, and we're gonna be airing the dress rehearsal from the day before. When I tell you, we were all crying. We were devastated. We had worked our ass off for so long. But you know, in that moment, I had the guilt of knowing, you know, I can't be selfish because somebody really injured themselves and they hurt themselves. So we're just gonna let this go and we're gonna let this be, and the show must go on. But I was devastated. I mean, I'm still dealing with the idea like of the insecurities of being a bad singer. And vocally, I was not giving my 100% during the dress rehearsal, which is my fault. In theater, you say there's no second chances.
Right, but we all expected the dress rehearsal, right?
But you know, I had been a little under the weather and I was saving my voice vocally because it had been really raspy. I'd been recovering from a cold, so I was not trying to hit all the notes and go full diaphragm, full out and all that. And so when it came down to knowing that my dress rehearsal was gonna be aired, you know, it was very hard on me. But you know what? Nothing can change the fact that I was there.
Yeah.
That I was chosen, that I work with the people that I work with. And the entire experience I'm so blessed for.
You've had to really step up and step up quickly all throughout your career. I mean, part of the reason I think that everyone wanted you to be ready to do everything is because when you appeared on Drag Race, you appeared very fully formed visually. You were giving looks that looked like someone who'd been doing it for years. But the truth was, performing, you had only been doing it 10 months.
Performing in drag.
Uh-huh.
But since I was 11 years old, probably since I was born, I've been performing for myself in that mirror.
Right.
Since I was 11, I was studying the performing arts in the Los Angeles Unified School District Magnet Choir, Magnet, which was a free program where you can study the performing arts and get bussed out to Hollywood every day to study the performing arts.
Right.
And so I had choir, I had dance, I had theater, I had sewing, I had all these different classes that have prepared me for becoming Valentina, being on that stage, being in the spotlight. You know, I thank all the mentors and all the teachers and everybody that has been a part of that process. All my teachers in middle school and high school that believed in me, you know, that gave me the confidence and the technique to be able to wing it and pull some shit out of my ass on Drag Race. You got what I mean?
Yeah.
And so people don't believe that I was a new drag queen because I know how to pose for the camera, you know, and I know how to put a look together.
And those looks were
you know,
so iconic.
just because I'm a new queen don't mean I need to look terrible.
Right.
You know? People really did not believe it, but I was new. I was new to all of it. I was very new to all of it. Didn't know how to host, didn't know how to tuck, didn't know how to tie it in a corset. I was learning that all in the moment during
Right,
Drag Race.
because when I saw you on Drag Race and heard you only doing drag for such a short period, I was like, well, I bet she's been a star in her room for many years, because it seems like you had a full. Because I understand that, like in your room, you've been getting everything together and you knew how to perform and you've been doing it. So once you put it on, you were ready to just.
Can you
go.
imagine me at 4 years old? In my little Superman underwear, interviewing myself like I was being interviewed by Barbara Walters, just talking to myself. And how do you feel today? Well, today I feel great. Like just going off.
I can
like,
imagine.
I always felt like I needed to prepare for something when I was very little. I feel like I come from another planet. Like I feel like I was born somewhere that I didn't belong. Like I was like, why am I here? Like I just felt like there was a lot of challenges being born and growing up, and things didn't make sense for me, you know? And the more as I got older, I kind of found my tribe and I kind of found myself. And since a very little age, I knew that I was very, very different, and I didn't know why. But now, I sure know why now. It's a lot, and I'm always transforming and I'm always evolving. And since that time where I was like interviewing myself and training myself to be something big, I think that little boy that was just like dreaming of something big has it now. And now that I have it, I feel like almost as if those dreams have been accomplished, and now I've created new dreams. And now I'm shooting for even bigger ones. And you just got to keep pushing.
Well, make sure that you at home are following us on all social medias. That's at Qween TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Farmers Only, Black People Meet, etc. Right, Lady Red?
That's
Valentina, there's so much to talk to you about when it comes to Drag Race. So many iconic moments that we haven't really ever heard your full side on. So today I want you to be able to clear the air on every situation and really give us your POV, because you were the diamond in the middle of the storm. You came out of the box fully formed, and then suddenly there was a lot put on you, and we've only heard little bits about what that was like, and that's what I really want to know from you today.
Oh my, are we really gonna go in?
We are gonna go in.
Oh my God, I've long awaited this. You know.
Let's start at the end, because after your original season on Drag Race, it must have felt crazy. You went home early. You seemed at the time and during the competition and when it was airing like you were maybe the favorite to win. And you certainly believed in yourself. You had the looks to do it. There was the moment. The iconic moment with the mask.
I'd like to keep it on, please.
Where you had the balls to say that you wanted to keep it on, which already is like, well, she is just doing it, honey, because most people would just have taken it right off. What was it like in that moment?
Well, listen, I had been doing so well in the competition. I had been very focused on the competition. And at that moment, me and Nina, who was my co-star for that challenge, had gone in and did the Nina and Tina, had the entire set cracking up, and they enjoyed it. And we had built this confidence that we had done great. Little did we know they weren't laughing with us, they were laughing at us. But bitch, they were laughing, right, Nina, Bonina Brown? They were laughing. And plus, if you watch that shit, it's crazy and it's hilarious. And when it came down to the deliberation, that's kind of just where I zoned out. I think my mind just went into like a spiral, like of just overwhelmed, overstimulated, confusion. And I really did have a mental breakdown where, you know, it's really sad for me to watch that episode because I watch it and I don't live it. I don't remember it. I'm watching it, I'm like, I can't believe, why can't I remember that I was there? I was literally there, I'm literally blinking, and you could see how dead I am in the eyes. You could see that there's not really much reaction out of me. I was not present. If anything, I feel really cringe when I watch it because I see somebody just lost and not present. I mean, if you knew me, you know I'm a fighter and I don't give a fuck. I'm a chola and I come through and I rise to the occasion, okay? But there's something about that moment that really got me. Like, it's a moment in history and time for the repertoire of who I am and what I do that will always live on, that will always be acknowledged, and I'll always be there. And you can epically see me fail. Right? You could publicly see me be at my lowest form where I just cannot react and rise to the occasion, right?
Right.
And it looks like I'm acting some type of way or maybe very entitled and that I'd have the nerve to tell RuPaul, I'd like to keep it on, please. But literally, I'm not even present, you know?
Wow.
I don't know how to describe it today because I don't feel like I was in that moment, you know? I just remember there was a moment where RuPaul screamed at me and I was just like, oh shit, like, this is really happening right now.
That must have been scary.
Yeah, and you know, I had Nina on the side being very supportive and she was saying, it's okay sis, I got this, you can do it. You know, me and Nina during the show, we were very, very close. And it was a low moment. And I mean, not only was that a low moment in the moment, because I just felt like all my dreams just shattered to a million smithereens in that moment, but getting eliminated and getting home, having been eliminated, and staying at home for a couple of weeks is the worst and darkest time that I've lived in a long time. And people don't know that what you see on the show is not just part of it, but like, there was a really, really dark time that it took me a long time to bounce back from getting home with all my luggage, not having won.
Right.
You know, because that was my only objective, to go and to actually win for that season 9. Not so much for All Stars, okay? To be honest.
You didn't need it at that time.
Girl, I was like, just give me the TV time, bitch.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Give me the TV time and I'll still win something, bitch.
Yeah, you'll win the hearts of millions like you did. But that first time, you were there for a reason and you must have come home and felt very disappointed.
Yeah.
How did you
very
make
dark.
it through to the point when you guys had to then put it back on for the world when the promos and all that were released?
There was a lot of like not leaving the house, not checking my phone, not being awake, just going to sleep. I just didn't want to exist. You know, there was this frustration that I could not remember what happened or why I was home. I was not supposed to be home.
Wow.
I was very disappointed in myself. I'm very critical about myself. But as broken as I was, it gave me that fuel to come back and hit it real hard for when I came back.
Right.
And something in me knew that I was not gonna allow for that to define the kind of performer that I am, the strong person that I am, and the willpower that I have to fight back, right? And not only that, I just really can acknowledge that it's a very human experience for everybody to see me fail early on in my career. The very beginnings of my career, it was tough. A lot of us, when we're young, we go through some tough, shaky turbulence in the beginning, right? And those experiences make us stronger. There's no experience like life, right?
You had to do it on camera in
On
front of
camera.
millions.
And I mean, I cannot deny that that moment is so fucking iconic.
Well, yes. Can we get a round of applause for that? Yes. Have you been able to accept that now? You've been
honey,
able
we're
to
over
enjoy it at this point.
We're over it,
Right.
honey. I love that it happened. It catapulted me. I actually was the #1 trending Twitter topic in the world.
Yes.
Worldwide. You know?
But that can't have been easy at the time. Were you able
Absolutely
to?
not.
That was it, because that was the time when you said it yourself at the beginning of the show here, is that after you became famous is when you really had to start learning how to be a practical drag queen. Hey, how's everybody doing? Doing all the things that normally is in the build-up. You were doing them now when you were famous, and you said you had a bit of a tough time there. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I think, what was really the hardest was maybe just having the lack of experience, and then the entire drag community was not in favor of me. Something about me stormed through with all the success really fast,
Right.
without paying what people say is my dues, right? We have people that have been in the pageant system that come from drag families that have worked their ass off day in and day out with $50 gigs and, coming up in the scene and learning drag raw on stage and in front of people. And I didn't come from that. I came from the theater, I came from the stage, right? And so where is this little girl coming out of nowhere,
Right.
and having all these people praise her and applaud her when she don't even know how to do drag yet? And here I've been doing work for the community and blah, 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 and this and that. And I can understand why drag queens would be like, who does she think she is? She don't even know what she's doing yet. And I didn't, right? But I lacked some support, some guidance. When you leave the show, they don't leave you with a handbook of how to do bookings, or how to go with the management, or what your contract should look like, or what you should perform. What's the difference between an interview shoe and a performance shoe? What's the difference between an unclockable hairline and a good shake and go wig that you can flip around on stage? Like, no one is describing these things to you.
Right.
I left the show, I didn't have management. I found my manager. He had never managed anybody before. I had never had a drag manager. We didn't know what we were really doing, but we created our own path.
Yeah.
We worked with each other together. The drag community all attacked me, all came for me, all hated me, but I had this thriving, beautiful industry that loved me and wanted to work with me, right? So I was dealing with a lot of negativity. I was dealing with a lot of being overhyped and being praised, and I couldn't take either. I couldn't take all the harsh critique from the drag queens, and I couldn't take all the praise that I was getting from my fans, and I couldn't take how everything was growing so fast, and I couldn't even get 4 hours of sleep. It was a lot for me.
Yeah.
And I can see why people would be bothered by how I didn't deserve all that. You get what I mean? How it happened so fast. And, that person that was taking everything on so quick, I don't want to be back in that place. I'm so
Right.
glad that I now have the experience, and now I have the tools to know what I want. I didn't know what I wanted at that time.
What's the truth of this, and red M&Ms?
Oh, dear Lord,
We
honey.
might as well really get it, because that story came out, I think it was an anonymous story, and then everyone said, oh, it's Valentina.
There's something about the way that I do things that either irritates people or people just live, right? So I have this either or. And at the time, I just was praise and praise and praise and praise and more followers and more love. And why does everybody love her? That I've just been getting so much love that when anything that comes up must come down. Anybody that you know is really famous, like everybody's gone through this process of like, okay, we all love Cardi B, right? And she was rising, 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 rising. She gets to a level of success, and then there comes that little turbulence where it's like something will happen. They're like, no, let's clock her, let's drag her, let's cancel her, let's bring her down. And we've all had this moment, us artists, where like we climb too high, and then they want to drag you down to see if you can make it through. And I think Red M&Ms was that moment where everybody wanted to just like snatch my wig off, throw it off, and see if I would cry or if I would stand there and pose. And in that moment when it happened, I was building. When that happened, because I'm such a private person, it exposed this facade and this character of who I could really be, right? At that time, I was booked every single day. No break, just gig, 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 gig. You know, Lady Gaga, another plane,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. That was me,
Yeah.
right? At the time, me and my manager, Jason King, I love you, Jason. Me and Jason were just, well, mama, we got these bookings, fill up the calendar.
Right, make
And
that
he was
money.
like, I'll get my cut, you got your cut, coin, 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 coin.
Yup.
Coins were just falling and we were just catching them just like a good hooker would, catching the next check. We were just doing it. And it got to a point where I was no longer resting. I was no longer having me time and it was no longer fun. I was just showing up to the gig. They would throw me in the car. I would do the show. I would go on the stage, act like a little monkey, take a bow,
Right.
go backstage, pack up, do it again. And so by the time that I'd gotten to this gig in Nashville, Tennessee for play, I was exhausted. I was probably very short of words, not the sweetheart, not acting like Miss Congeniality. So I was like, okay, all right, I'll do it, blah, blah, blah. I was running late. I demanded, and I still demanded, I don't give a fuck, it's in my writer. I only do meet and greets before the show, I don't do after the show, because after the show, I've already performed, and I'm sweated out, the lace is coming up, and I don't play that, I don't give a fuck.
The fans are maybe drunk.
They're
all the
drunk,
rest.
they're turned, they're having a good time. They want to tug on your wig. I'm not about that life,
I can understand that, right?
I'm not about
No,
that.
baby, I totally agree. That's exactly the rule.
Catch me for them pictures when I'm
Before.
fresh.
Yeah, when
I
I'm fresh.
arrive,
Yeah.
the powder is set, the lip is nice and shiny.
Yeah.
Right after I'm haggard, I'm not trying to take no damn picture, girl. I'm so sorry. All these other drag queens that are real humble. They'll do whatever it takes. Not me, Josh. I was born poor, but I was acting real entitled even when I was poor, dreaming of the fairy tale that I wanted to live.
Yeah.
My mother had a real hard time with me because she's real humble. Girl, why did she give birth to the biggest fucking diva? And she, if I have anybody to thank about having an ounce of hope of being a good person, it's because of my mother.
Wow.
She was born dirt poor, and the principles and the morals that she's instilled in me gives me a backbone to be able to be grateful, to remind me, to slap me some sense into me, to be grateful for everything. But at that time, I got to the gig. Maybe I was not nice that day, but there was all this stuff going around and all these rumors.
Right, they were all like, Valentina showed up, she was late.
She was
did
late.
this,
She
and
demanded having a meet and greet before that. Then there was this karate chop video, roll the footage where I'm attacking a fan and slapping her hand away.
Oh, right, I forgot about the
Something
old
like that.
slap the
That
hand
blew
away.
up. And then she had posted this thing, not even mentioning my name, insinuating at a rose emoji.
Right.
Which the rose emoji is my emoji. It's followed me. I've blessed the entire community with rose emojis with lots of love, and it went real left. Girl, it was like a hack of rose emojis from my Latin fans. They were just going crazy. I told them to give love. Ooh, excuse me, the champagne. Shirley Temple burps, it's okay, me too. Because Shirley Temple was drinking champagne at 7 years old. That's what I'm feeling like, because my goals, my image is like, what do I want to look like? I want to look like a little 7-year-old little girl. That's
perfect youth.
Hello. Hi, it's me, Valentina.
Anyway, okay, so back to the story.
Back to the story,
because I'm talking in circles now. So the story went that she uploaded some Instagram insinuating, I'm so tired of these girls, and she mentioned a lot of girls, but it all fell on me because of the rose emoji.
Right.
That are demanding to have red roses and red M&Ms and champagne and being driven around. And I think at the time they'd had Nina Bonina, and they had driven her around and took her to Party City to blah, 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 taka, 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 hate their fans, blah, blah, blah. And at the time, it all fell on me. It all fell on me, and the whole community came for me, Josh. They all turned.
Yeah.
Even my own fans turned on me. I got, let's say, I had been at DragCon, I had a 5-hour wait for my fans at DragCon. just signing my life away. I had fans getting 8x10s of me, ripping them and throwing them in the trash. They'd been sending it to me direct. They hated me after that. How dare you be so rude and disrespectful, blah, blah. All those things that were said about me, aside with the fact that I was tired and short of words and demanded to have a meet and greet before the show, which everybody does it now, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like me and my manager helped pave the way for meet and greet only before the show, no exceptions, or else I'm not coming because I don't play that shit. Mm-hmm. Okay? And so, I can't, you right? So, paving the way for that to happen and, like, came for me, right?
How did you handle it emotionally? Because you're on a roller coaster at that point. The highest high of getting on Drag Race, getting kicked off, getting back out there, doing so well, then getting kicked off on the television version, and then getting so much attention. So you had come off this big high, and then suddenly it's zooming down. Where are you at emotionally at that point?
Emotionally, I'm lost. I'm very lost. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't love what I do anymore. Everything is just, my drag is tired. I'm tired. I'm throwing on the same outfits every day. I haven't been home, living out of the suitcase, not even having time to go run to Walgreens and pick up whatever I need. I'm just like working with what I got. Didn't have an assistant at the time. And just calling my manager, crying all the time. Like, listen, like, yes, I'll be there, or let's do it. And, you know, we learned everything together. He's now built a business called Qween and represents all these girls, and they're all doing very well. But at the moment, it was just me and him, you know? And at those times, like, it was like 3 in the morning, and I couldn't call anybody other than Jason. He was there for me, and he helped me, but I was lost. I would get home, and my friends would see me, and they would think, okay, you're not okay, you know? I was not grateful, I was not level-headed, I was not happy. I was being overworked, and I didn't know how to vocalize it. I didn't know how to tell my manager, you know, I'm overbooked, because I was supposed to be grateful for it. Had the entire drag community coming for me. And I had all these important events happening, like America's Next Top Model, and what is it on Bravo, that show? Andy Cohen invited me to come and talk.
Yeah, you were
and
all over the place.
Moschino came and invited me to be front row at their fashion show, and all these things were happening so fast, and I was smiling through it. When in doubt, smile, but I was so unhappy inside.
And how have you figured that out? How have you gone through that? Because that wasn't that long ago.
I started to have panic attacks. I started to really go through it. I become mentally unstable and unhappy, and I just got to a point where I demanded that I have some time off. I think I lied. I lied one time, and I said that I had kidney stones, but I was having a real mental breakdown, real mentally unstable, and like threatening all the people that I loved, and said, like, if you guys don't give me a break, I'm gonna hurt myself, you know? And they then knew and understood that I needed some time off to just collect myself. And after that, me and Jason, who I love, we started to work out my schedule and said, you know what, like, I need to focus on my mental health, because I'm not enjoying this. If I can't enjoy this, how the fans are gonna enjoy me getting there? No one's gonna wanna enjoy working with me. I'm being a bitch and being ungrateful, and I don't love what I do. So I collected myself real quick. I picked the pieces together, and I started to think about, do you love what you do? Of course I love what I do. Are you grateful for what you do? Of course I'm. Why? How can you show that? So I started to get more involved with my community of people that I had left behind. Because when you're traveling, you don't have that hug, you don't have that kiss, that support of the people that love you. You're just going on your own, and you're like expecting that the applause of strangers will fill the void for that daily love that you really need every day in your life, right? That hug or that, hey, Josh, how are you doing? I was never available to that, because, you know, my times of being available and awake are from, 10 o'clock at night to 5 in the morning. And who's gonna answer the phone at that time, right? So I just started to get myself together and fall in love with drag again, because I'd fallen out of love with it. I always fucking wanted this. And now that I have it, I must pay for it, and I must live with it, and I must learn to love it, learn to enjoy it. It does bother me sometimes. It does. Sometimes I just want to be normal. Sometimes I just want to be free. But then I'm like, no, bitch, you're a star. Make it work. You know, so you just come to live with it, and you come to save your energy and to learn how to be the star. You know, a star will always shine. And if you're aware of that, and a star's gift is to share that light, that you have so much in you that you have to share it, but you have to save it. You can't just be giving away samples for free all the time.
Yeah.
No, you have to meditate, and when the moment comes to share, you go out and you just shoot them, you hit them with it. Here's some love. You know?
That's right. So what's next, Valentina? Are we gonna get that Valentina album?
It's taking a long time to make this happen, but I've been working on an entire album. I'm hoping that earlier next year it will come out, if not new music very soon.
Right.
I just wrote my first song, and I was gifted a song written by Gloria Trevi and Claudia Brand.
Wow.
It's a big deal for me. I just performed it at Carolina Herrera for their after party. And you know, this whole music journey, I'm taking my time with it because I want to do it right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because you only get to make your debut once.
Yeah.
And we know you like to do it perfect.
Oh, honey, I like a big old fat budget.
Yes, you do.
You know? And everything that I do well, everything that I do, I like to do well, and I like to take my time with it. So I let out things a little bit at a bit. You know?
Valentina, you have really turned it, and you've been through a lot, and I think you're incredible. And I know that there's so many more big things to come for you. You truly are a superstar.
Thank you so much.
We love you here at Hey Qween, don't we, Lady Red?
We love her so much. Thank you for coming, girl.
And honey, you
course.
have turned it so fiercely that you have snatched the trophy. There you go, honey.
Thank you so much.
And you've also won yourself, you know what it is, a lap dance. Yeah! Oh, yes. Oh my God. This is getting good.
Ay, papi, dame lo que quiero. Dame rico. Ay, mi amor, muchas gracias. Qué lindo. All this for me. Oh my.
Queen! Hey, Queen! Hey, Queen! Yes! It's here on Hey Queen!
Oh my God, Valentina, this is incredible. Valentina's not going anywhere. She's, of course, going to play Look at Her, so you're going to want to tune into that. Thank you to our lap dancer, Gerg is the word. Thank you to the beautiful Lady Red.
Oh, Valentina!
And thank you to the one and only Valentina.
Thank you so very much.
Valentina. Oh, you are incredible. All right, everybody. We'll see you next time on Hey Qween. Bye, baby.
Yeah!